Hey gang, so I was just going to do another short video here on this John Deere 8960 project to kind of keep you guys in the loop if you're trying to sort of follow along and get some build ideas. So here's what I did yesterday, and I've got a couple of these tore apart right now. So I went ahead and JB welded the rear end of this together. Now, I kind of did a sloppy job, but that's okay. That can be cleaned up with the sander, the Dremel, whatever. On this one, I have not taken off the hitch yet, as you can see, but I will. And I'll look at this other one and show you that. But so anyway, I did this yesterday, and then I let it set up overnight just so that my JB weld's good and sturdy. I mean, you can see I can kind of pull on it and twist on it, bang on it. It's not going to come apart. So that's the idea there. We want that to look good. Now here is, let's sidetrack a little bit from maybe the project you want to do, and get specifically to this 8960 I'm doing. I cut the front grille out. Now, I cut the front grille out because I'm going to make a new front grille, and it's going to look better. So, that's why I went with that. I went that route. I'll show you more on that down the road when I get to that point. But what I want to do first, and let me just show you this real quick. So you can see how this is the stock Ertl grill. You can kind of see where I marked out where to cut out there. See how these lights are in the middle? Well, I actually want to make an actual kind of bar there and recess some lights into that, so that it's just better detailed, nicer looking tractor, so on and so forth. That's my goal anyway. We'll see how well that works out. I mean, this is each project's kind of an attempt. So here on the main 8960, you can see I've JB welded that in. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I've scratch built some fenders for this. So these fenders are going to come off, but I wanted to get the whole tractor put together before I lop those fenders off. Just because it's easier to handle and so on and so forth. Something else I did here is there's a little nub here that's supposed to be a handrail that Ertl had in their casting. Well, I went ahead and took my Dremel and I got rid of that. Just used the cutoff wheel and just kind of went over there as sort of gingerly as I could. Now this will all look fine and dandy once we paint and prime and all that stuff. So don't worry, you obviously don't want to get real deep in there, but we're fine on that. Same thing here on this other side. You can see there, maybe got a little more aggressive there than I wanted to, but it's still going to work out just fine. And then of course the cab's off of it. And you know what, while the cab's off of it, let me go ahead and, so the cab has two of these plastic things here. I cut one off because once you've got the body in half like this, the only way you're going to get that to go back on is if you take that off. And even then, as you can see, roughly, sorry, it's going to take some work to get that back in there, and that's fine. It's just the way it goes. But you'll never get it back on if you leave both of those tabs on. And then while the cab's off, I'm going to go ahead and pull the interior out, and we're going to do some work here. So I'm thinking I'm going to put in an actual steering wheel instead of this flat disc thing, and then we're going to have controls over here on the console. So I'm going to want to go ahead and drill some small holes with my small drill bit. So this guy here, and we'll use a pin vise for that rather than the Dremel. It's just going to work really easy doing that. And we'll drill those in. We'll take our straight pins, we'll bend those and cut those to the shape that we need, and we'll have a couple hydraulic levers there just to sort of dress up the tractor, the interior a little bit. Now also, so this is a whole casted unit seat. I'm not going to make a new seat for this. We're just going to leave what we got, but we will want to paint the top of these armrests, because the armrests are actually black on these tractors. They're not the tan color that basically the rest of the interior is. So there's also some black on the console and on the dash, so we'll paint that too, just to give it that little extra something. And then, like I said, I've cut out the front of this. Now this is all clamped together because we're waiting for the JB weld to set up, so we're just going to let that sit 24 hours. It doesn't need to sit 24 hours, but I'd rather be safe than sorry and only have to do it once. So anyway, you can kind of see a pretty decent opening there. I've got a little filing to do here on the bottom left, as you can see. No big deal there. Once it's dry, we'll just take my file, which probably for that, we'll want this guy. We'll file that down. So if you guys follow on Instagram, you saw my mock-up of my tires. So my wheels came today. So these are the wheels I'm going to use for the 8960. I think they're pretty close to realistic, maybe not perfect. The only downside is they are about a millimeter too small in height. So the tires do not fit snug in there. That's I mean, you can see they'll fit, but if I hold this just right, you can see a little, there you go, see that light shining through there. So I've got a remedy for this. I think I've got a couple things I'm going to try, and then whatever works out best, I'll let you guys know. So anyway, that is an update on the 8960 project, and hope you guys are following along. Hope you guys are getting some building done. I hope you guys are having a great day, and happy tractor hunting.